Hello everybody, welcome to my channel.
Michael Douglas. A legacy of talent, resilience, and cinematic influence. Michael Douglas stands as one of Hollywood's most enduring and versatile figures, a performer, producer, and cultural icon whose career spans over 5 decades. Known for his magnetic screen presence, commanding voice, and ability to portray complex characters, Douglas has shaped modern cinema in profound ways. From his early days on television to his Academy Award-winning performances, he has earned a reputation as one of the industry's most respected talents. Early life and influences. Michael Kirk Douglas was born on September 25, 1944, in New Brunswick, New Jersey, into a family deeply connected to the arts. His father, the legendary actor Kirk Douglas, and his mother, actress Diana Dill, provided an environment rich with creativity but also grounded in discipline. Despite the privileges of growing up in a film family, Douglas often spoke about the pressure of living up to his father's iconic status, an expectation that would later fuel his drive and dedication to the craft. Douglas studied drama at the University of California, Santa Barbara, and after graduating, worked his way into the industry, determined to build a career independent of his father's shadow. Rising to fame. The Streets of San Francisco. Douglas's breakthrough came with the popular police drama The Streets of San Francisco, 1972 to 1976, where he starred as Inspector Steve Keller. The show not only showcased his acting skill but also introduced his burgeoning interest in producing. His time on the series served as a training ground, helping him hone both his performance abilities and behind-the-scenes instincts. A powerhouse producer. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. In 1975, Douglas produced One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, a remarkable feat for a young producer. The film won the Academy Award for Best Picture, cementing his influence in Hollywood. This achievement marked Douglas as one of the rare talents equally successful in front of and behind the camera. Film stardom. From anti-heroes to corporate titans throughout the 1980s and 1990s, Douglas dominated the box office with roles that explored ambition, morality, and the darker sides of human psychology. His portrayals often embraced complexity, making him a standout figure in an era defined by bold storytelling. Key performances. Gordon Gekko in Wall Street, 1987. Douglas's portrayal of the ruthless financial titan earned him the Academy Award for Best Actor. The character became an enduring symbol of excess, with the phrase "greed is good" entering pop culture history. Fatal Attraction, 1987, a massive commercial success, the film showcased Douglas in the role of a man whose affair spirals into danger. It remains one of the decade's most influential thrillers. Basic Instinct, 1992, known for its intensity and psychological complexity. This thriller further solidified Douglas's status as a fearless leading man. Falling Down, 1993, Douglas delivered one of his most acclaimed performances as a disenfranchised man pushed to the edge, capturing the anxieties of modern life. Later career. Reinvention and continued excellence. Even as Hollywood shifted, Douglas continued to evolve. In the 2000s and 2010s, he embraced a mixture of dramatic and comedic roles, proving his versatility. Notable projects. Traffic, 2000, a critically acclaimed ensemble drama where Douglas delivered a powerful performance as a judge confronting his daughter's addiction. Behind the Candelabra, 2013, Douglas won a Golden Globe and Emmy for his astonishing portrayal of Liberace. Marvel Cinematic Universe, 2015-present, as Dr. Hank Pym in the Ant-Man series. Douglas introduced himself to a new generation of fans, Personal life and health. Douglas's life has included public battles, including his fight against throat cancer, which he overcame with remarkable resilience. He has spoken openly about the experience, using his platform to raise awareness about health issues. Married since 2000 to actress Catherine Zeta-Jones, the couple remains one of Hollywood's most admired partnerships. Together, they share 2 children and continue to navigate their careers while supporting humanitarian and philanthropic initiatives. Legacy and impact. Michael Douglas's impact on cinema is immeasurable. As both an actor and a producer, he has influenced genres, elevated dramatic storytelling, and helped shape Hollywood's modern landscape. His characters, flawed, intense, magnetic, continue to resonate across generations. With a career defined by bold choices, resilience, and artistic excellence, Michael Douglas remains a towering figure in American film, a testament to the power of talent and reinvention. Michael Douglas. A deeper look into his life, career, and cultural influence. A family of legends. Growing up. Michael Douglas grew up surrounded by film sets, scripts, and the larger-than-life presence of his father, Kirk Douglas, one of Hollywood's most influential Golden Age icons. Yet his childhood was not a typical fairy tale of glamour. His parents divorced when he was young, and Douglas often spoke about the sense of independence he learned early on. Though proud of his father, Michael carved his own path rather than relying on the Douglas name. This determination became a defining feature of his career. He once mentioned that he learned as much from watching directors on set as he did from actors, foreshadowing his later achievements as a producer. The turning point. From actor to producer with a vision. Douglas's decision to produce One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest was more than a career gamble, it was a declaration of artistic ambition. The rights to the novel originally belonged to his father, and when Kirk Douglas was unable to get the film made himself, Michael took up the challenge. He pushed through Hollywood resistance and secured the support of director Milos Forman. The film's success, sweeping the Big Five, Oscars, Best Picture, Actor, Actress, Director, and Screenplay, established Douglas as a formidable force behind the camera. His risk-taking marked him as a visionary who understood both the business and the art of filmmaking. Dominating the 1980s and 1990s. The era of Michael Douglas. Few actors defined late 20th century American cinema like Michael Douglas. His roles during this period were bold, provocative, and often psychologically charged. He became the go-to actor for stories about ambition, obsession, desire, and the pressures of modern life. Exploring power and morality. Douglas had a unique gift for playing men in crisis, corporate sharks, conflicted lovers, anxious husbands, and individuals pushed beyond their limits. His characters reflected the anxieties of the era. Economic greed and capitalism, Wall Street, the consequences of infidelity, fatal attraction, urban unease and disillusionment, falling down, seduction and danger, basic instinct. Audiences connected with these flawed, human portrayals, while critics praised his courage in taking on controversial themes. Collaborations with iconic directors. Douglas's career includes work with some of the most respected directors in film history. Oliver Stone, Wall Street, David Fincher, The Game, Paul Verhoeven, Basic Instinct, Joel Schumacher, Falling Down, Steven Soderbergh, Traffic. Behind the candelabra, each director brought out different facets of Douglas's talent, from tightly coiled tension to emotional vulnerability. Comedic talent. A lesser-known strength. Though best known for psychological thrillers and intense drama, Douglas also excelled in comedy. Films such as Romancing the Stone, 1984, The Jewel of the Nile, 1985, The War of the Roses, 1989, revealed his gift for timing, wit, and physical humor. His chemistry with actresses like Kathleen Turner became legendary, giving audiences a glimpse of his lighter, playful side. The fight against cancer and his public advocacy in 2010. Douglas revealed that he had been diagnosed with throat cancer. His openness about the illness brought widespread support and admiration. He underwent months of treatment and emerged cancer-free, later crediting his recovery to early detection and strong family support. His willingness to speak publicly about his condition helped raise awareness and encouraged many to seek medical screenings. This chapter of his life added new depth to his legacy. A story not just of artistic accomplishment but of resilience and courage. Marriage and family life. Douglas married Welsh actress Catherine Zeta-Jones in 2000, a relationship that captured worldwide media attention. Despite challenges, including Douglas's health issues and temporary separation, the couple remained committed and supportive partners. They share 2 children, Dylan and Karis, and maintain a strong presence in philanthropic work, supporting education, health initiatives, and human rights causes. He also has a son, Cameron Douglas, from his first marriage. Michael has openly discussed the struggles Cameron faced with addiction and incarceration, highlighting the complexities of parenting and forgiveness in the public eye. A modern icon. Transition to the 21st century. Michael Douglas continues to reinvent himself in modern cinema. His role as Dr. Hank Pym in the Marvel Cinematic Universe introduced him to a new generation, proving his relevance in contemporary Hollywood. He also stars in the acclaimed comedy series The Kominsky Method, earning praise for his heartfelt, humorous portrayal of an aging acting coach navigating life's challenges. Critics have celebrated the show as one of Douglas's most charming and nuanced late-career performances. Awards and honors. In addition to his Academy Awards, Douglas has received Emmy Awards, Golden Globe Awards, AFI Lifetime Achievement Award, Cecil B. DeMille Award, Producers Guild Awards. His contributions have been recognized across acting, producing, and humanitarian work. Enduring influence. Michael Douglas's influence extends far beyond individual films. His career represents a bridge between classic Hollywood and modern cinema, a willingness to tackle controversial, psychologically rich roles, a unique combination of charisma, intelligence, and fearlessness, a legacy as both a performer and a producer. Few actors have navigated the industry with such longevity and impact. Michael Douglas, a monumental career built on talent, risk, and reinvention. Extended edition. Michael Douglas's cinematic journey is one of the most fascinating in Hollywood history, a rare blend of commercial success, artistic risk-taking, and personal resilience. Few actors or producers have remained so relevant for so long, navigating multiple eras of filmmaking while always evolving with the industry. Below is a greatly expanded continuation of his life, work, and lasting cultural footprint. Origins of a Hollywood heir, identity, pressure, and independence. Growing up as the son of Kirk Douglas, a man whose face, voice, and performances defined Hollywood's golden age, Michael Douglas lived with unique expectations. Yet his path was not paved with guaranteed success. A childhood between two worlds. He spent his early years splitting time between his parents after their divorce. Kirk Douglas, intensely disciplined, had high standards, while his mother Diana Dill encouraged emotional expression and artistry. Michael often visited film sets where his father worked, absorbing the mechanics of filmmaking but also yearning to create his own identity. Forging his own path, Douglas resisted the idea of simply inheriting his father's legacy. He studied at the University of California, Santa Barbara rather than immediately pursuing Hollywood. Only after years of training did he begin taking roles, determined, as he put it, to earn it, not be handed it. The television years, a study ground for greatness. Douglas's early acting included small parts in TV movies and guest appearances, but his true break arrived with The Streets of San Francisco, 1972 to 1976. Working alongside veteran actor Karl Malden, Douglas found not just fame but mentorship. Malden taught him discipline, professionalism, and the importance of understanding the whole production, not just one's own role. During this series, Douglas became increasingly curious about producing. He observed directors closely, asked questions, took notes, and began seeing the industry through a multi-layered lens. This period quietly set the foundation for his later career as one of Hollywood's most successful actor-producers. Rewriting Hollywood rules. Producing One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Douglas's biggest early gamble, producing One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, changed Hollywood forever. The Challenges Studios believed the story was too dark and anti-establishment. Financing was difficult to secure. Casting Jack Nicholson was a struggle, as he initially hesitated. But Douglas's unwavering belief in the story ultimately paid off. The film became one of the most acclaimed movies in history. Impact on Douglas's career. He instantly became a producer with extraordinary credibility. It allowed him to choose bigger, better roles. It cemented the idea that Douglas was not dependent on his father's star power. He was a creative force in his own right. Becoming a symbol of 1980s and 1990s masculinity. Douglas's rise in the 1980s aligned with cultural anxieties about power, wealth, sexuality, and moral ambiguity. His performances often mirrored society's darker complexities. The antihero archetype movies like Wall Street and Falling Down showcased Douglas as the embodiment of men confronting the pressures of a rapidly changing world. Themes Douglas often explored: corporate greed, toxic ambition, sexual tension and vulnerability, middle-class frustration, the breakdown of traditional masculinity. Few actors could blend charm and moral complexity like Michael Douglas. He made flawed characters deeply human, even when audiences disapproved of their choices. Unforgettable collaborations and on-screen dynamics with Sharon Stone, Basic Instinct. Their electric chemistry created one of cinema's most iconic thrillers. Douglas held his own against Stone's commanding performance, creating a tense psychological dance. With Glenn Close, Fatal Attraction. Their portrayals of infidelity and its consequences ignited cultural conversations about marriage, trust, and obsession. With Kathleen Turner, Romancing the Stone. The Douglas-Turner-DeVito trio became one of the 1980s most beloved screen combinations, mixing adventure, humor, and romance. Ventures into comedy and lighter roles. Though often associated with thrillers, Douglas has a strong comedic instinct. The War of the Roses, 1989, he played a man caught in a hilariously dark marital breakup. The film remains a cult classic for its sharp satire. Wonder Boys, 2000, his portrayal of a disheveled, exhausted writer was warmly received and showcased his effortless ability to convey vulnerability and wit. A return to relevance in the 2000s and 2010s as many actors fade with age. Douglas continued to grow critical acclaim in later works. Traffic, a powerful take on the American drug trade. Behind the Candelabra, his performance as Liberace was widely considered one of his best. The Kaminsky Method, a charming, emotional exploration of aging, friendship, and identity. His willingness to embrace aging on screen made him even more relatable and respected. Personal struggles and triumphs. Michael Douglas has lived a life full of intense public and private battles. Health challenges. His throat cancer diagnosis shocked the world. Douglas confronted it with transparency and strength. After treatment, he emerged cancer-free and became an advocate for public health awareness. Fatherhood and family. Douglas's relationship with his eldest son, Cameron, endured hardship due to Cameron's struggles with addiction and imprisonment. Michael supported him through recovery, and their reconciliation is now seen as a testament to perseverance and love. Marriage with Catherine Zeta-Jones. Despite scrutiny, health scares, and temporary separations, their marriage has endured. They remain one of Hollywood's strongest couples. Cultural legacy. What Michael Douglas represents. Michael Douglas is more than an actor, he is a cultural marker. His career traces the evolving anxieties, ambitions, and contradictions of American society. His legacy includes redefining the Hollywood antihero, proving actors can be powerful producers, surviving cancer and becoming a voice for awareness, bridging multiple eras of film, from 1970s realism to 21st century blockbusters, inspiring new generations through Marvel and streaming platforms. Douglas is a symbol of longevity, reinvention, and artistic courage. Conclusion. The everlasting impact of an American icon. Michael Douglas's life and career form a remarkable narrative of resilience, intelligence, and unmatched versatility. From his early roles to his groundbreaking production work, from playing corporate titans to vulnerable aging mentors, Douglas has remained relevant, admired, and deeply influential. With decades of iconic films behind him and continued work ahead, he stands as one of cinema's true legends, a man whose impact is felt across generations and who continues to shape Hollywood in meaningful ways. Michael Douglas, the enduring influence of a Hollywood titan. Further expanded edition. Michael Douglas's story is not just one of fame and success, it is the story of a man who consistently adapted, took risks, reinvented himself, and helped shape both American cinema and American culture. Here are additional extended sections that continue the exploration of his life and career. Behind the scenes. Douglas as a creative architect. While Michael Douglas is widely celebrated for his performances, his contributions behind the camera are equally significant. A producer with an eye for human drama, Douglas gravitated toward stories that examined social conflict, institutional power, psychological tension, the complexity of desire, moral ambiguity. This explains why films like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, The China Syndrome, and Traffic resonated so strongly. They explored the fragility of the human condition and the forces that shape society. The China Syndrome, 1979, a timely warning. Douglas produced this thriller about a nuclear plant malfunction, released just days before the real-life 3 Mile Island incident. The film became a cultural flashpoint. It not only showcased Douglas's foresight but also elevated him as a producer unafraid to tackle urgent issues, shaping the concept of the modern leading man. Before the 1980s, leading men in Hollywood were often invincible, polished, and idealized. Michael Douglas helped change that image. The imperfect hero. He introduced a new type of protagonist. Ambitious yet flawed, attractive yet deeply conflicted, charming yet vulnerable, morally ambiguous. Why audiences connected with him. Douglas's characters weren't superheroes, they were human beings, struggling with temptation, anger, fear, social pressure, power, consequences. This made his roles in Fatal Attraction, Falling Down, and Wall Street feel real, relatable, and culturally significant. Michael Douglas and the art of psychological drama. Douglas brought intensity to roles that demanded emotional control and inner turmoil. His signature qualities as an actor: commanding presence, even when silent, controlled explosions of emotion, a sudden shift that grabs the audience, complex masculinity, embracing vulnerability without weakness, sharp intelligence, a sense that his characters always calculate emotional depth, showing internal chaos beneath a calm exterior. Characters that defined a generation: Gordon Gekko, Wall Street, Dan Gallagher, Fatal Attraction, Nicholas Van Orton, The Game, William Foster, Falling Down, Grady Tripp, Wonder Boys, Liberace, Behind the Candelabra. Each performance explored different facets of humanity: power, fear, identity, ego, and longing. Michael Douglas in the 21st century. Reinvention in an evolving industry. As many 20th century stars faded, Douglas adapted, embracing new audiences. His role as Dr. Hank Pym in Marvel's Ant-Man franchise introduced him to millions of younger viewers. This was a masterstroke. It kept Douglas present in mainstream pop culture while allowing him to play a mentor figure with emotional depth. The Kaminsky Method, a late career triumph in this Netflix series. Douglas plays Sandy Kaminsky, an aging acting coach confronting aging loss, friendship, career insecurity, mortality. The performance is tender, humorous, and deeply human, proving that Douglas's talent is as sharp as ever. Philanthropy and advocacy. A quiet force for good. Douglas is not only an artist but also a humanitarian. Key areas he supports: nuclear disarmament. He has been a UN messenger of peace. Human rights, advocating for justice and fair treatment worldwide. Education, supporting programs for young actors and underserved students. Cancer awareness, using his public platform after his own battle. His advocacy is thoughtful, deliberate, and focused on long-term impact. Relationship with Kirk Douglas. Legacy, respect, and healing. The father-son dynamic between Michael and Kirk Douglas is one of Hollywood's most fascinating familial stories. A complicated bond. Kirk's intense discipline and traditional masculinity shaped Michael's early years. Their relationship included distance and emotional restraint, especially in Michael's youth. As adults, they grew closer, both openly admiring each other's achievements. Passing the torch. When Kirk Douglas passed away in 2020 at age 103, Michael offered a heartfelt tribute, acknowledging his father's resilience, his iconic influence, his role as a mentor and guiding force. It symbolized a powerful cycle of legacy and renewal. Michael Douglas's influence on film students and young actors. Douglas regularly participates in film festivals, universities, and industry panels. What he teaches young artists: the importance of patience, the value of understanding every part of production, how to build a long-term career, the benefits of embracing both success and failure, the courage to choose risky roles. He remains a role model for his professionalism, humility, and mastery. Why Michael Douglas matters more than ever. After more than 50 years in entertainment, Michael Douglas continues to matter because he mirrors the human condition his characters reflect: fear of failure, desire for connection, struggle with identity, the pressure of modern life. He took creative risks. Douglas embraced controversial, boundary-pushing roles others turned down. He bridged generations. Few actors are equally beloved by 1970s dramatic film enthusiasts, 1980s and 1990s thriller fans, 2000s indie movie audiences, modern Marvel followers, streaming era viewers. He left a dual legacy. Michael Douglas is both an extraordinary actor and a groundbreaking producer. This dual impact is rare in Hollywood. Final reflections. A career for the ages. Michael Douglas's story is one of resilience, intelligence, and reinvention. He is a man who transformed from a determined young actor into a major movie star, a respected producer, a symbol of 1980s, 1990s cinematic culture, a survivor of personal and health struggles, a multi-generational icon. Few actors have shaped American cinema so deeply. Fewer still have remained relevant for so long. Michael Douglas is one of them. Michael Douglas, A cinematic legacy that continues to grow. Extended expansion. Few actors have managed to remain not just relevant but essential across 5 decades of film and television. Michael Douglas is one of those rare figures, someone who reshaped Hollywood from both sides of the camera and whose influence continues to be felt in film, culture, and global storytelling. Below is a deeper continuation, exploring areas not yet covered in previous sections. Douglas's acting technique. A study in controlled intensity. Michael Douglas's performances are often described as quietly explosive, a combination of restraint, intelligence, and emotional tension that makes his characters feel grounded and unpredictable. Key components of his acting style. 1. The calculated pause. Douglas is known for using silence to create tension. He often pauses before delivering a line, allowing suspense to build emotion to shift power dynamics to change. This technique is especially visible in Wall Street, Basic Instinct, and The Game. 2. Subtle facial expressions. Douglas rarely
Bye bye. Thanks for watching. Bye.